Hello?
Yeah, hello. Is this Daryl?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Chuck here with the Marine Phytoplankton.
Hi, Chuck. How are you?
Good. How are you? Haven't talked to you
in
a very long time there. I wanted to give you a call. Actually, I've been trying to follow up on a lot of people to get recorded testimonials over the phone. I was hoping to get one from you and also from Hillary. I just have not been able to reach her, and I know she's had great success with fibromyalgia and a few other things.
Fibromyalgia and the skin disorder. Oh, come on. You think of it. I can't.
I forget what that's called. But her skin problem has really cleared up too from it, right?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Almost 100%.
Almost 100%. Wow.
Yeah, she's really and it was really bad.
Yeah. So
she's functioning quite well on it, and I do beautifully on it.
Yeah, I forget what you benefited from.
Well, you don't know. That's my problem. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and
you never told me that.
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with that. And I was taking frequency at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't like the company that sells frequency.
Yeah.
I don't like business practices like that.
I think I remember talking to you about that part.
So I frantically started looking for phytoplankton somewhere else.
Yeah. And
when they took the lump out and they told me it was cells, I said I wanted to wait 6 or 8 weeks before they did the lymph nodes and the rest, because I was determined that I was not going to have cancer, and then I would have enough phytoplankton in me to kill any cancer, so that when they did the next test, I'd be clean, and I was.
And you were?
So, I was.
So, yeah, because this goes back, I remember,
February or March.
Yeah, February and March, and here we are. This is October. I talked to so many people, and my head just starts to spin. And you would be amazed how many people we've heard come back with just great results.
Sure.
You know.
But I suffered from some arthritis, which I have none of when I'm taking phytoplankton at all.
So you have no. To repeat that, you're saying you were suffering from arthritis?
A little bit of arthritis, my hands and my knees. I'm 72 years old, going to be 73.
And since you've been on phytoplankton, you don't notice any arthritis pain whatsoever? We get that a lot too. That's great. So it's not like it comes and goes or anything. It's definitely just gone, right?
Gone. It just doesn't exist. And my husband, who was on an antidepressant for 25 years, he was on Prozac.
Yes.
Went off Prozac, and he's over his depression.
And is that right? God,
that's to me the most incredible thing that's happened.
Well, yes, that many years.
Because
oh my
25 years on Prozac, and I mean he has a history of depression. His family has. That's genetic.
Yes. Yeah.
His father had committed suicide at 46. The family depression is in the family. And he was on medication from the time I met him until maybe 7 or 8 months ago, when he decided to try the phytoplankton. And he took it, and he gradually stopped taking the medication, and he's fine. He's not depressed anymore.
Wow,
which
great.
To me is
so. I wonder. So it's like. That's kind of an amazing thing, because you say he's not depressed, and because I get so many people calling back saying, I just feel like I got that younger skip in my overall feeling. They just feel younger at heart and more energy, and like the day is suddenly brighter. And that, to me, normally that's just because you're feeling good and healthy. And normally when you have a good, healthy feeling, you're mentally you're feeling good too.
He was clinically depressed. Fortunately, he's a very healthy man. Physically, he's very excellent health. He was. Depression is genetic.
Yeah.
Your synapses aren't shooting the way they should.
Yeah.
And he was. Depression. Clinical depression is not just feeling good.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's a way of life. It's not. He's experiencing feelings that he wasn't allowing himself to feel all his life.
Wow, that's great.
So he's like a different person.
Yeah, I bet.
Wonderful.
I bet.
Yeah,
that's like a whole new life there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a friend who started taking it. Her doctor, they had showed her a tear in her shoulder, and they were going to operate to repair the tear. And but the operation was for whatever date it was going to be for, a couple of months down the road.
Yeah.
And she was into phytoplankton. And when she went for the operation, and they saw the X-ray, the MRI, everything that showed the tear. And when he cut her open, the tear wasn't there.
Yeah. Wow.
So whether the phytoplankton
but they still went to the point of doing the surgery, and then they get all the way there and find out
there was no tear.
Yeah,
they took out some arthritic spots, and so her recovery was half of what she had expected it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hear stories like that. Her husband started taking it. He has a serious, serious heart condition. And I had said to her, try it. It can't hurt.
Yeah.
She just called me. I just mailed her 3 packs Friday because she said he counts on it. He feels like it's all that's holding him together.
Wow.
But Chuck,
yeah.
you know...
I know. I love hearing it. We get so much of that.
But it's really the kind of thing you don't really know.
Yeah.
You know? I can't say, oh, my God, it's the phytoplankton. I mean,
yeah, but you know what? We've had some cases, and I've actually got another testimonial by phone that's going to go up on the internet, and they were testifying how they went on vacation and they didn't take any phytoplankton with them.
Yeah.
And the one guy, his vision came back. He doesn't need reading glasses while he's on this, which probably has to do with diabetics, the blood sugar imbalance and all that. He didn't realize, and he noticed by the time he came back a week later, his vision was getting blurred. I believe there was arthritis pain and a few other symptoms that they noticed immediately starting to come back. And I just even had the lady with Penny the dog who had cancer. They ran out periodically there, and when they weren't giving it to their dog, they were noticing that the symptoms were starting to come back. So I can believe it. There's just it's just good and healthy for the body. It just definitely kicks And
everybody laughs at me. They keep saying you're telling me this stuff cures everything, and I keep saying it does.
Yeah, and I actually, this isn't, because I'm talking with a doctor friend of mine, and he believes that it works on the cellular level. There's that little thing where every cell has kind of like a brain part of it that tells it what it's supposed to be doing and so forth. And he thinks it's working on that, correcting that cellular level or confusion as far as relating to the immune system at that point. So apparently, because there's too many things, it's not like, and that's why we get these horrible calls sometimes. People say, what kind of snake oil is this? And be very critical and so forth. But if it is working on a cellular level, then normally, because the body's designed to heal itself, so if the immune system is doing what it's supposed to be doing, whether you got the flu, a cold, or, whatever the case is, most things are, traced down to some type of a situation like that. And the same thing with cancer cells that are increasing in your body. A lot of times it's getting overwhelmed in the body and the defense mechanism, because they say literally everybody has cancer cells in their body, the free radicals and the precancerous cells and all those things. And it's just when the body gets to the point where it's like everybody has viruses too, but when it gets to the point where your body can't keep up on the immune system, then the virus takes over. Next thing you know, you have the flu, or you have,
right. We just had an interesting, my husband, who, as I said, is basically an extraordinarily healthy man, is 83 years old.
Yeah.
And 2 days ago, he just suddenly didn't feel well and started to shiver, and I felt him, and he was burning up.
Wow.
And we came home from work. We still work. We came home from work, and he went to bed with a couple of aspirin and kept feeding him aspirin all through the night. And the next day, he felt a lot better, and the day after that, he was perfectly fine. He said he felt weak. I think he had the flu.
Yeah.
But his body was able to fight it off.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's what I think.
Some people get it, they're sick for 10 days or 2 weeks. He was sick for a day and a half.
Right, yeah. And
I think that makes a difference. I think that's the big difference, that we're basically healthier because of what we take, so our bodies do.
Right, exactly, and that's what it is. It's a super nutritional product, and just like somebody who's eating spinach and vegetables every single day versus the person who's eating hamburgers and french fries every day, one, after a few months down the road, one's definitely going to improve and the other one's going to have health issues. And that's just I think common sense, and it's a natural law. It's like you can't sit there and survive off of junk. You got to eat something nutritionally good. And
it's just the government pays for everything, all kinds of Medicaid and Medicare and subsidies.
Yep.
They don't pay to help you get healthy.
I know. I hate that. They never talk about preventative, maintenance on the body, all this stuff for help to the medical field, which is, I can understand that to some degree, but why aren't they talking about what's causing so much sickness in America, and we're so far ahead of so many other countries, it's ridiculous, it really
I have a friend with diverticulitis, however you pronounce it, diverticulitis, or I can never say it, and she just can't afford it.
Diverticulitis, yeah.
She just can't afford it.
I know, it is. It's very expensive.
I feel bad. I mean, I'm not a charity. I can't keep her on it.
Yeah. So whatever happened to Tom? Tom was the guy who had liver cancer
and diabetes
and I know he was taking like a tablespoon a day or something outrageously amount.
He took a few tablespoons and got his blood count, sugar count went way down. And he said he had liver cancer or stomach cancer of some kind.
Yeah.
And my daughter said she was there when he got the call. Tom was also her tenant.
Yeah.
And Tom stopped paying his rent, and she ended up evicting him.
Oh, yeah. I know how those situations. Yeah, because I know you gave him some free product to try that way, too. Did he? I know last you heard it was his liver cancer. They said the doctor's report came back negative, right?
Yep. He said that barely any cancer cells.
Yeah, that's right. You said there's barely any cancer cells in it, and that was the liver. I've used that. I've told people, they've asked, they say, you got any stories on the liver? And I said, yeah, we do, but I can't document it. And I just wish I could, was able to get a hold of this guy and just document it. But we're getting other people now starting to come around, and hopefully we'll get more and more to where,
It's just amazing that for me, it's not something you can really see.
Yeah.
For my husband, it's been a miracle not being depressed.
Yeah.
For my daughter, you can see her skin.
Yeah.
And the fibromyalgia was really bad. I mean, she's off on a bowling tournament this weekend.
Yeah. Your daughter is? That's Hillary? Yeah. And so that's why I wasn't able to reach her, yeah.
Right. But for me, it just, I had a little bit of arthritis. You can't see cancer cells, so you don't know what it did for me.
Yeah, right.
I'm convinced that it worked. I mean, I won't go for any medical treatment. My husband's taking 2 teaspoons a day, and I'm taking 1 teaspoon a day. Yeah. We go through it pretty quickly.
Yeah. Isn't it, Hillary, is it eczema? Is it, because that's more of a, I think, itchy skin inflammation. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, because I've heard someone else saying that
psoriasis.
Cleared up. Psoriasis. Okay, psoriasis. Okay.
Psoriasis, yeah. Okay. And I had psoriasis on one toe that cleared up. It's such a nominal amount of psoriasis. I mean,
so that's cleared up for a way back from March, and nothing has come back.
No, nothing comes back.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to get it off.
As long as we stay on it. I use a lot myself. As I said, we're doing 2 to 3 teaspoonfuls a day.
Wow. So that's,
But I'm not going to be ever diagnosed with cancer again.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I do. I take lots of it, too. It's like, why not for a preventative way of going? If it's a possibility, then why not? Yeah, so that's what I feel. It's like I'm just a health food junkie. I go after anything nutritional-wise that I can get my hands on. It's like I think the more the merrier in many regards. It's like it sure beats the heck out of eating potato chips and junk food all day long, So it's like we end up doing that too. It's hard not to be living in America, but still, why not, put the good stuff in our body too to make sure that, we're definitely balancing it out. But it's in a lot of cases, so when it's serious health conditions, we found that most people need definitely a lot larger amount of the phytoplankton to really see the benefits. And especially with cancer, I wouldn't take a chance. It just seems like so many of the people I've talked to, it seems like they're taking a teaspoon a day and they're seeing great results.
Yeah, well, my doctor, I go to the oncologist every 3 or 4 months, and I keep saying, it's not too late to try radiation and chemotherapy, and I keep saying, no way.
Yeah.
I take phytoplankton. I don't need yours.
Yeah. If you're not at that life-threatening state, I can understand if somebody says, well, shoot, we need to do something here. We might, I don't know. Everybody, I guess, has to make their own decision on that. But if you're not even showing signs of cancer, it's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, once I came out clean, I said that if I didn't come out clean in the operation, then I would consider.
Yeah.
But once I came out clean, and I said, that's it. I'll risk it. I just can't imagine that radiology. I mean, if the nurse walks out of the room when they turn on the machine, you're telling me that it's not.
I know it is.
I just can't accept that it's not.
Yeah, it's kind of like, health problems like cancer cells. When your body's getting unhealthy, people don't realize it until it's almost too late. You don't always know when your body's getting worse in a situation, and that's the way I feel with natural products. When you're taking them, you don't always see immediate results, but you're doing your body something good. So that's why I'm right with you. I like to keep taking something just to make sure it's a preventative, and because it definitely is not going to hurt. It's only going to help.
It can't hurt, right?
Yeah,
it can't hurt.
Yeah.
That's the.
Why wait before it becomes a major crisis before you address it? And then sometimes it's too late. If it happens too fast, and they have to operate on you or something, then it's too late. So it's better, definitely better to try to stay on top of it. So.
Well, Chuck, good luck.
Thank you for your
You're
call.
You're very welcome, and good luck to you. I'll do what I can to help.
Hopefully, thanks. And hopefully I'll get a hold of Hillary there, too, and we'll be able to talk about her situation.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.